Welcome to our channel, Beyond the Books. We have a vocabulary guide, discussion on literary techniques and lessons from Judy Blume's classic, Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. While the story is funny and relatable, it contains several Tier 2 words that are essential for developing stronger reading comprehension in upper elementary school. Before we get into the drama, let's sharpen our tools with some key vocabulary from the first 5 chapters. First, we have a pebble, which is a small, smooth stone worn down by water. Synonyms include gravel or stone. Then there's complain, something Peter does quite a bit, which means to express dissatisfaction or annoyance. Synonyms include convince, influence. To help a child sleep, you might sing a lullaby, a quiet, gentle song. A very apt synonym would be serenade. And finally, beaming, which is that radiant, broad smile you see when someone is truly happy. Have you ever beamed before? Still continuing with the vocabulary from the first 5 chapters, to persuade is to convince someone to believe or do something through reasoning. Synonyms include convince, influence. An exhibition is a public display, like a gallery of art. Synonyms include demonstration and display. When Fudge copies Peter, he is trying to imitate him. Synonyms include mimic, emulate. And if you're crouched, you've adopted a position with your knees bent and your body forward, kind of like a baseball catcher. Synonyms include squatted, hunkered. As the story reaches its peak in chapters 7 through 10, things get intense. An urgent situation requires immediate action, like an ambulance rushing to a scene. Synonyms include critical, crucial. To get through it, characters have to cooperate or work together toward the same end. Synonyms are collaborate and assist. Peter has to be patient, tolerating delays and problems without getting annoyed. Synonyms are tolerant and forbearing. And sometimes, you just have to gulp, swallowing quickly due to fear or haste. Synonyms being gulp and swallow. Moving into the second half of the book, the words get even more descriptive. Have you ever walked through thick mud and heard that soft sucking sound? That is a squelch. Peter definitely considers his brother Fudge a nuisance, which is a person or thing causing a major inconvenience. Synonyms include irritant, bother. If your teeth are chattered, they are clicking together because you're cold or scared. Synonyms include rattled, vibrated. And if you specialize, you've become an expert in a particular subject. Synonyms include master, focus. In Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, Peter isn't just a character. He is the storyteller. This is called first-person narration. It allows us to hear his private thoughts, like how he really feels about his brother Fudge, or his turtle, Dribble. Peter Hatcher provides a first-person perspective on his life in New York City. The story is told by a character within the book, using I, me, and mine. We only know the story through Peter's perspective, like Peter's frustration. This perspective makes the reader feel like they are Peter's best friend. Perspective means a particular attitude toward or way of regarding something. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, like compassion or understanding. By seeing the world through Peter's eyes, we understand the middle child struggle. We have empathy towards his character, internal conflict, a struggle occurring within a character's mind, like dilemma, hesitation, observation, the action of closely monitoring something or someone, scrutiny, inspection. This first-person narrative style creates a strong connection. Readers often feel relieved when Peter finally gets a win, because they've lived through his fourth grade nothing feelings with him. It teaches us that everyone has a story to tell, and how you tell it depends entirely on your own account of the facts. In literature, an archetype is a universal recurring symbol, character type, plot pattern, or behavior pattern that transcends time and culture. Mentor is a wise guide. The protagonist, Peter Hatcher, is the responsible, observant, straight man who wants to be treated like an adult. Peter is expected to be mature and cooperate, while Fudge is allowed to be a nuisance. Peter loves his brother, but resents the lack of personal space and respect for his property. Antagonist/agent of chaos is Fudge, a toddler who lacks social boundaries and unintentionally disrupts every plan. Fudge uses exhibitions, like temper tantrums, to gain attention, leaving Peter feeling invisible. The enablers are the parents. They are figures who must balance the needs of both children, often favoring the high-needs child, but not on purpose. Skeptical outsiders like Sheila and Jimmy are friends and neighbors who challenge Peter's patience and social standing. The conflict forces Peter to find his own voice. Responsibility proves that Peter is actually the most reliable member of the household. Resolution. The family eventually recognizes Peter's value, even if it takes a crisis to get there. Situational irony occurs when the actual outcome of a situation is the exact opposite of what was intended, expected, or anticipated. It is often used to create humor, shock, or dramatic twists in literature and everyday life. Hyperbole, using exaggeration to emphasize Peter's feelings of despair or Fudge's wildness. These two concepts are better explained with the example of the Toddlebike commercial incident. Peter's father needs a perfect child for a bicycle commercial for the Toddlebike to impress a big account. A professional child actor or a well-behaved kid like Peter would be the best choice. The irony: the perfect child actor throws a tantrum, and the chaotic Fudge, who usually ruins everything, is the only one who can save the day by imitating Peter. Hyperbole, the world's greatest disaster. Peter uses hyperbole to describe Fudge being chosen for the ad.
Dealing with unfair situations. External conflict, Peter versus Fudge. The struggle of a sibling invading personal space. Internal conflict, Peter's struggle to feel seen and valued by his parents. Lesson on conflict resolution. Learning that being the big brother requires patience and a different kind of strength. Pause and evaluate. Before reacting, take a breath to avoid making the situation more chaotic. State the fact, not the feeling. Instead of "you're mean," try "I am upset because my turtle was touched without permission." Seek mediation. If you cannot persuade someone to stop a behavior, ask a trusted adult to monitor the interaction. The win-win compromise. Suggest a variety of solutions where both sides get something they want. Focus on controllables. You cannot control a toddler's actions, but you can control your own technique for handling them.
In the end, we learn that siblings are a mix of frustration and love. Conflict is natural. What matters is how we handle it. The final takeaway is that despite all the chaos Fudge causes, family bonds and mutual understanding are what truly matter. The journey of growing up is always better when you do it together. Thanks for watching and joining us at Beyond the Books. Leave a comment on your thoughts on the book, or if you want us to look at another book. In conclusion, key themes are that sibling relationships are a mix of frustration and love, and conflict is natural. The final takeaway is that despite the chaos, family bonds and mutual understanding are what truly matter. The journey of growing up is better together.